Hello everyone and welcome inside Mike's Bar and Grill here on Front Street in downtown Berea, Ohio. I'm Matt Florjancic and I'm here with episode 18 of the BW Athletics Roadshow. We're going to take a look at the week that was in Yellow Jacket Athletics. Then we'll welcome on a few guests, including baseball star Alex Ludwick, men's tennis standout Trey Kernan, and women's tennis star Ashtyn Morris. Then we'll take a look at the week ahead for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Taking a look back at the week that was in women's basketball news, Baldwin-Wallace University women's basketball senior All-OAC and academic All-OAC forward Lily Edwards of the nationally ranked Yellow Jackets was named to the D3Hoops.com All-American team as a fourth team selection. For the season, Edwards, who garners her first ever D3Hoops.com All-American accolade, scored 495 points, averaging the most per game in the OAC, and earned her the BW single-season point scoring record. Edwards led the team with an average of 8.68 rebounds per game, which was good for second in the Ohio Athletic Conference. She scored a career high early in the season in a non-conference game against La Roche as she posted a 29-point performance. In addition to her scoring prowess, Edwards totaled 47 assists and 25 steals on the season, helping the Yellow Jackets to their 8th OAC regular season title and 10th Ohio Athletic Conference tournament title. In her career, Edwards averaged 13.99 points per game, as well as 7.53 rebounds per game, and tallied 1,357 total points. She also totaled 23 career double-doubles, 9 of them coming in her final season in the brown and gold. Edwards lands on the all-time BW top 10 career leaders list for total points, points per game, rebounds with 730, rebounds per game, field goals made, field goals attempted, free throws made and attempted, and is in the top 15 in field goal percentage, making just about half of all the attempts that she took in the brown and gold, and she also is top 15 in a free throw percentage. The Yellow Jackets concluded the season with a loss in the NCAA Division III Women's National Tournament Sweet 16 round last weekend. Edwards led the Yellow Jackets all year and did so in the postseason as well, scoring 20 or more points in all 6 of the Yellow Jackets postseason contests. She averaged 24.5 points per game in the OAC and NCAA tournaments. In outdoor track and field news, for the first time this season and in her career, sophomore All-OAC runner Cassie Colin from Canal Winchester has been named the OAC Track Athlete of the Week. Colin won the 3,000-meter steeplechase in a time of 12 minutes and 9.96 seconds this past weekend at the Washington and Lee Carnival. She placed 14th in the 1,500-meter run and currently leads the OAC in both the steeplechase and 1,500-meter run from her personal records this weekend. On top of leading the OAC, Colin is ranked 16th nationally in the steeplechase. Before transitioning to the outdoor portion of the schedule, Colin ended the indoor season, helping her relay squad place first in the distance medley in a time of 12 minutes, 22.91 seconds at the OAC Indoor Track and Field Championships to earn her first All-OAC honor. Staying on the track, freshman All-OAC runner, field athlete Mason Kaisel was named the OAC Field Athlete of the Week as he placed second in the shot put with a distance of 13.96 meters this past weekend at the Washington and Lee Carnival. He finished 13th in the hammer throw with a distance of 39.04 meters and 19th in the discus throw with a distance of 36.32 meters. He currently leads the OAC in the shot put and is ranked 20th nationally. Before transitioning to the outdoor season, he ended indoor season placing third in the shot put with a distance of 14.58 meters at the OAC Indoor Track and Field Championships, good enough for first team All-OAC honors. Also, congratulations to junior All-OAC attacker and midfielder Beiler, who earned his first career OAC Men's Lacrosse Player of the Week honor. He picked up the honor after a week in which he scored 7 goals and added 2 assists for 9 points. He also collected 4 ground balls and caused 2 turnovers. On Wednesday, he will lead last Wednesday, he picked up a career high for goals scored in a game with 5 against the Allegheny College Gators. He followed that up with a 4-point performance in an overtime victory over Transylvania University as he hit the back of the net twice and dished out 2 assists. On the season, he leads the team with 14 goals and 19 points. He is second on the team with 5 assists and has collected 7 ground balls and caused 3 turnovers. As a team, last week the men's lacrosse posted 2 victories. The first was a 16-6 decision at Allegheny last Wednesday, and then they evened their record at 3-3 overall with a win over Transylvania. The Baldwin-Wallace Yellow Jacket men's lacrosse team was led in scoring against Transylvania by senior midfielder John Schulte with 4 goals. Sophomore All-OAC attacker Jake Nanoski added 2 goals and 2 assists, while Beiler added 2 goals and 2 assists as well. On the women's lacrosse side, BW returned home for a non-conference matchup against Calvin College on Saturday and claimed a victory by the final score of 16-10. Sophomore All-OAC midfielder Deanna Lucas led the Yellow Jackets with 4 goals, while senior All-OAC midfielder Maddie Ray added 3 goals. Senior midfielder Sid Chamberlain added 3 goals and 2 assists, while freshman attacker Lily Tope scored twice and handed out 2 helpers. And senior All-OAC goalkeeper Ashley Hildreth added 6 saves. Unfortunately for the Yellow Jackets, they couldn't keep the momentum going as they traveled on Sunday down to Ohio Wesleyan University and fell to the Battling Bishops 13-10 inside Selby Stadium. The Yellow Jackets are now 2-5 on the season. The Baldwin-Wallace men's volleyball team dropped a road MCVL game to the University of Mount Union in 3 sets last week. The Yellow Jackets fell by scores of 25-18, 25-15, and 25-13 inside the McPherson Academic and Athletic Complex in Alliance. BW was led by sophomore all-conference outside hitter Michael Beard, who had 7 kills and 7 digs. Freshman outside hitter Carson Junker added 7 kills and 1 assist, while sophomore setter Brandon Long added 12 assists and 3 digs. On the baseball diamond last Saturday, the 17th ranked Yellow Jackets hosted Hiram College to start a 3-game weekend series on Fisher Field. The Yellow Jackets totaled 19 hits, and which carried them to an 18-3 victory over the Terriers. BW was led by junior left fielder Ryan Guggenheim as he went 3 for 4, tallying 6 RBI with 2 doubles and a single. Senior All-OAC right fielder Drew Wilson also went 3 for 4 and scored 3 runs while tallying 4 RBI. The Yellow Jackets kept the good times rolling at Fisher Field as they defeated Defiance College and the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford in 2 non-conference games on Sunday. They combined to hit 6 home runs over those 2 games and earned a 13-1 victory over Defiance and a 14-4 victory over Pitt Bradford in Game 1. Freshman second baseman Sean Kalenic went 2 for 2 with 3 RBI and 3 runs, while junior center fielder Vincent Capilupo added a 2 for 4 performance with 4 RBI and a run scored in Game 2. Alex Ludwick went 3 for 4 with a 2-run homer and a totaled 4 RBI overall with 2 runs scored. On the softball diamond, the Baldwin-Wallace University softball team had a doubleheader that was rescheduled and were not able to get on the field because of the inclement weather in town. The 8-2 men's tennis team and the 1-7 women's tennis teams were idle last weekend and returned to the courts later this week. On the links, the Baldwin-Wallace men's golf team placed 3rd at the University of Mount Union Spring Invitational at Tannenhof Golf Club. BW finished 3rd of 5 teams with a total of 626 strokes on the par 72 6,694-yard course. John Carroll took first in the tournament. The top 5 Yellow Jackets senior academic All-OAC selection Logan Bratch fired rounds of 76 and 74 for a 2-day total of 150, while fellow senior Henry Newman shot a 156. Senior Connor Thomas right behind with a 157. Freshman Christian Miller had a 163, and freshman Logan Cook posted a 181 total. The women's golf team opened the spring portion of their season with a first-place finish at the Pioneer Classic at Lakeside Golf Course. BW finished the two-day tournament with a 756 stroke total on the par 70, 6,318-yard layout. Senior Aaliyah Metzger led the way as she shot rounds of 89 and 92 for a two-day total of 181. And with that, that'll wrap up the week that was for the Yellow Jackets. And right now we're going to bring on our first guest, and it is going to be baseball player Alex Ludwick, who is currently leading the Yellow Jackets in just about every offensive category and has them out to a near perfect record this year. They're 13-1 overall on the season. Great way to start for the Yellow Jackets. Alex, thank you very much for joining us here on the Athletics Roadshow. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You and I have a couple things in common. We're both, and at some point in the very near future, we're both going to be BW alums, but we're also already Padua Franciscan alums. So
nice.
It's nice to meet a fellow Bruin who's doing a good job for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, awesome.
First and foremost, Alex, looking at what you've been able to accomplish this season and individually and as a team, how does it feel to be off to such a strong start and see this Yellow Jacket team, in the top 25, in the top 20, and knocking on the door of even better success?
It's actually really exciting to see this. I've been here for a while, and just seeing the progress that we've done so far, it's awesome seeing all the guys out there. We're competing our butts off, and we're doing great. I think that if we keep this up, we could win it all, and I believe in that truly.
You've mentioned you've been here for a while. This is technically your fifth year here at Baldwin Wallace. Do you have any nicknames on the team? Does anybody call you Grandpa or anything yet?
Chris Viamonte calls me Abuelo. I'm Grandpa. Uncle Lud. A lot of nicknames.
It's all in good fun, though. You don't. Do you have a favorite?
Just Lud. Just Lud or Grandpa. Grandpa Lud it always gets to me. It's funny.
Looking at your career, why did you decide to come back for your fifth year? You had played technically 3.5 years, but what was it about the program that you wanted to be a part of this one more time and have one last run with this team?
Last year we didn't want to end like we did, and I think the coaching staff really helped me come back. Coach Harrison and Coach D are awesome, and I couldn't imagine not playing another year here and just not playing baseball. And I just wanted to come back and have some fun and be a part of a team, and it's been going really well so far, and I'm grateful that I'm back here again.
So a little bit of unfinished business, also the chemistry that you've had with the guys. Safe to say those are the two biggest reasons why you came back?
Definitely, yes.
And no regrets on that one, right?
No regrets.
All right.
No regrets whatsoever.
Looking at what you've done over your time in Berea, BW Rookie of the Year in 2018, BW Gold Glove Award winner in 2019. Last year you were at D3Baseball.com All Mid-East Region First Team, All-OAC First Team, American Baseball Coaches Association / Rawlings All Mid-East Selection Second Team, the BW Big Stick Award winner. When you look at everything you've done, what can you say is the favorite accomplishment that you've had so far, or is it yet to come?
Well, I think that there's two answers to that. One is one of my favorite memories is winning the OAC my freshman year. That was a great team. It was a great team that I was a part of. Great leaders on that team. Took us a long way. Unfortunately, we lost late in the NCAA regional tournament out in New York. But I think there's more to come this year.
What gives you the hope that you can take that next step and go further as a program? I mean, when you look at as a team, what you've been able to accomplish thus far in the season, I mean, you're putting up double-digit runs seemingly every game. But when you start to get into the meat of the Ohio Athletic Conference, you're going to have to grind out some games. What is it about this team that you think can do that and prep yourself for postseason runs?
I think our preparation and practice, we're always talking about concentration, and that's just been a key that, like, I've been honing in on the guys before every game. I text them to visualize success before playing the actual game. The night before, I would sometimes text them, visualize success, so you're out there and you know what you have to do in order to win the ball game. And baseball it's a formula. It's a game of a formula. You pitch the ball, you play defense, and you do that really well, you win the ball game. That's what it is.
So how long has the visualization side of things been a part of your game, and when did you start to kind of pass on that knowledge to the next group coming in, the next generation?
Personally, I am a visual person. I've always been like that in baseball, basketball, and football my whole life when I was playing those sports as well. And passing it on, I think it's just me getting older and, seeing the younger guys during player development. I want to give back to them. I want to give back to the BW baseball team by making us a great and successful culture. And one of the things is visualization, and I'm really honed in on that over my years here at BW.
Well, when you look at everything that you've accomplished, you had the 2020 season wiped out, basically all of it because of COVID after you got back from your spring break trip. But last year, you come out, you're an all-Mid-East first region selection, all-OAC. You showed no signs of rust whatsoever. You appeared in all 40 games, led the team in runs with 50, hits with 76, and triples with 4. You were among the team leaders with a .434 batting average. How did you stay sharp during that essentially almost 12 months where you really couldn't play ball?
I played ball in the summer, actually. I played in a really tough Northwoods League, one of the top summer leagues in the country, and I was going against a bunch of ACC arms, a lot of SEC arms, and that just really got to me. And then when I came back here, the game got really slow. I think it was just me getting older as a ball player, and just being a part of it and just having different experiences really helped me along the way, and just trying to stay on top of my game. Like, I always write goals down before a season of what I want to accomplish personally and as a team. And I really honed in on that, and I really stuck to it, and I had a plan going into the season, and that really helped me.
Speaking of your plans, if you want to, you don't have to, but what are some of the goals that you'd like to see yourself accomplish this year?
Definitely win the OAC and the OAC tournament. I would love to have another NCAA run again, and I think we have the team to do it. We have the caliber. I've never been a part of a team that has so much caliber. Like, it's incredible to see how many guys we have, and all the young guys stepping up too is awesome too. Like, we have a bunch of freshmen, like Sean at second base, like, he's incredible, and we have some freshman pitchers that are throwing the ball too. And I think that age difference between guys on a team is just it's crazy, like, to think about. But everybody has a role and they know their role. And when they do that, it's a winning formula. So
we talked about you in the role of a leader, but when you look at some of those younger kids on the team, does that kind of rejuvenate you a little bit too?
100%. I always try and keep up with them because they got the fresh legs after a doubleheader, and I'm over here just cramping up. I'm having somebody stretch out my back. I have a guy crack my back before every game because I'm just trying to be ready, not just be rusty and all that. So I'm a competitor. That's what I love to do, and I think that helps them in the long run, just learning how to compete with somebody, and I think that just helps me as a person as well.
You've done some double duty in your career as a Yellow Jacket too. You're not just a slugger, you're not just a defensive star. You've also done some pitching in your career. How do you kind of stay sharp and know that, you're not going to pitch regularly, but it is something that you may be called on to do? Is that almost harder than having a regular appearance schedule?
No, because I just love competing. That's just I don't think that I don't need the preparation for pitching necessarily. Like, I'll throw a bullpen sometimes just to see how my arm's feeling, but like when I'm in the game, it's a whole different mindset. Like, I'm just locked in. It's incredible.
Is it something that you just go to coach with before a game and say, hey, whenever you need me, I'm here?
There's been a couple of times where I've said that during the game, yes.
What's the response like?
Harrison usually gives me a nice smirk on the face, and He knows that I'm ready. I feel like he's just waiting for the right time.
Perfect transition here. Talking about Coach Harrison, what was it about him that made you want to be a part of his program, and what's it been like to play for him for 5 years?
Coach Harrison's like a dad to me, and I think that, and same with Coach D too. Like, they're great role models and just great overall people. They really built a great culture before I even got here, and we always have 3 words: being invested, grateful, and assertive. And those 3 words have always just stuck with me, and that's the key to BW baseball right there. And I feel like that they do a great job of just passing it on. And as a senior, that's the best way of passing it down to the younger classmen. And they just wrote out this formula for us, and I love it here, and I love them. They're awesome.
Culture is a big part of what makes BW not just the baseball team, but the school in general so special and so unique. You go out and you support your fellow athletes, you support your fellow students. When you're not playing, you're at the games, you're there to support them. Was that really kind of seeing that? Did that help you make the decision to come here? What was ultimately the deciding factor when you wanted to be a part of the team?
Definitely, the campus was awesome. I honestly did not have a lot of colleges that I went to and visited. And I think another big thing was my family's close too. I live in Brunswick, Ohio, which is 15 minutes away, and so I always wanted my family to just come and watch me, because that gets me going too. That's a lot of energy just built within me, just seeing my family, and obviously my girlfriend I met here too. Just seeing them at games gets me going, and then just being around this BW culture has just really shaped me into a great person. I'm forever grateful for it.
When you look at chemistry and its importance on a team sport, how much does a trip like going down to Florida and getting to experience that almost like a quote-unquote bunker mentality, where it's pretty much y'all in just isolation with each other? I mean, for a full week, you may get sick of each other, but it also seemingly could help you build a lot of chemistry.
Oh, yeah, that's another great thing, too. Just always, we have a big baseball team, so you're not going to be able to, talk to a lot of guys all the time, because we're always, especially pitchers and hitters, so, it's a great way of just knowing people on the team that you really don't know that much. And I got to talk to some people down there that I didn't really get to talk to in the fall time and during winter workouts. And we have a great team. Everybody just gets along really well, and it's easygoing.
Except in between those white lines, then the easygoing part goes away, doesn't it?
Yeah. then we all know what has to be done. Yes.
Speaking of what has to be done, before I let you go, 2 more questions. You're a marketing major, so what are your plans post-graduation?
Right now, I'm undecided of what I want to do yet. I do want to look into getting my real estate license. That's one thing. I also want to be my own manager. I actually want to create my own product or service, so I'm still in the works on that. I've worked on a couple big projects here at BW that I think that I could take into the business world, and I can get a bunch of people to come with me and do a job. But I also want to try and play professional baseball as well. That's just always been my thing, and my dream that I've always wanted to do. And I don't think my age matters. I still play like I'm an 18-year-old kid, and just coming into college, I'm ready, just fresh legs. Just want to play ball. That's what I want to do.
Did that experience in the Northwoods League kind of stoke those flames even more so because you were competing against a higher level of competition?
Yeah. So I've actually played in a couple different leagues. I've played in the Prospect League twice for a team in Illinois. I just played down in Chillicothe, Ohio for the Paints, Northwoods, and then I will be playing in North Carolina. I signed a contract with a team, and that's the Coastal Plains League, and that's another big league. So when I go away and I see all the Division 1, 2, 3 guys and just a part of their team and going against those guys, especially, there's no better feeling than hitting a ball off of a Division 1 pitcher that plays in the ACC or SEC and just hitting a nuke off of them or something like that. Yeah, it just shows how competitive I am. That's me.
It's nice to represent the small schools when you're going up against the bigger boys, isn't it?
Always is.
Last question. What is it going to take to get an OAC championship here in Berea, and what is it going to take to get back to the College World Series?
I think we got the formula for it. I think if we just stick to it and stay concentrated, we're going to do it.
Well, Alex, thank you very much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. It was a pleasure
you.
to talk with you. Go Bruins,
Yes.
go Yellow Jackets.
Yes, go Bruins and Yellow Jackets.
Alex Ludwick, baseball star, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Alex, for joining us. Hello, and now we're going to be joined by tennis star Ashtyn Morris. Ashtyn, thank you very much for joining us on the Athletics Roadshow. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Yep, absolutely. So, how has the season gone for you so far?
Yeah, so the season is early on for us. We just got back from our spring break trip. It was really good. We had a lot of tough losses, but I think the competition we were playing was really strong, which is what we want. You know, you don't want to peak when you're not playing conference players. So overall, I'm really glad with the work we put in down there. I'm really happy with the results I had, even though I had some tough losses. I think it was good, you know. I'm excited to build off it and see what we can do moving into conference play.
This is technically your 5th year at Baldwin-Wallace?
Yep.
So just like Alex, what brought you back to Berea one more time for one more run at things?
Yeah, so honestly, COVID really shook up the world in so many ways, especially for college students, and I didn't think I was going to take my 5th year of eligibility, but it was my senior year, fall semester, and I was looking at jobs, and I realized that I wasn't ready to graduate, and I had an extra year of eligibility, and I thought this was the best decision for me professionally and also to keep playing. I love BW, I love the athletics, and I love the people here, and it just gave me more time to really figure out what I wanted to do, but also continue doing what I love.
So what is it that you want to do once you hang up the rackets for BW?
Oh man, that's coming up soon too. So I have an English major, art history minor, and a marketing minor. And marketing is what I want to go into. I'm actually working part-time right now downtown at a digital marketing agency. And at the end of my training period, I'll have an opportunity to interview for a full-time position. So that's ultimately my goal, is to land a full-time position and work for that digital marketing agency.
What is it about the field that you like?
I really like marketing because marketing is so important and integral to all of our lives in so many different ways, but I have a business background in terms of my family, and I love the entrepreneurial spirit, and marketing combines a lot of the things I love with communication, the business strategy, and that's what was really drawn me to marketing.
Yeah, taking a look at your career on the court, before the 2020 season was canceled due to the pandemic, you had 4 wins at singles, 4 wins at doubles, and then last year you really kind of stepped up your game. What was it that led to such an increase in production record-wise? I mean, you had a great, I guess, first senior season, if you want to label it that, but you really seem to make a big leap in terms of results.
Yeah, I knew that last year was a really important year for me to make a statement for myself, and when the season was canceled during my junior year, I had a really tough match on spring break because that's where everything was shut down, and I had a really tough loss, and honestly, I told myself I don't want to play like that. I am going to take this time and really turn my game around for the better, and that motivated me, and I knew I've always played in the top of the lineup. Like freshman year, I played third singles and pretty much have played second singles or first singles in the subsequent seasons. So it's a lot of pressure, and the talent you're playing is very strong. And I knew that I had the potential to compete well with those players, but I needed to put more time in on the court. And that was my goal for last year, to really make a statement. And moving into this season, especially in conference play, I want to keep building off that.
That was one of my questions, was just your ability to play at the top of the lineup so early in your career. Record-wise, you may not have been where you wanted to be after your first couple of years in the program, especially because you're such a competitor. But did that experience ultimately, do you think, helped you where you are today?
100%. I mean, I came in my freshman year playing first singles all 4 years in high school. And it's really a shift when you go from high school tennis to college tennis, because tennis is pretty much an individual sport, but in college they make it a team sport. So you're playing doubles and singles, and I had a reality check. Not only playing lower in the lineup than I typically did in high school, but the competition I was playing was much stronger, and the people I was playing were challenging me, not only physically but mentally, because it was a different type of pressure, and I wasn't just winning for myself or wanting to win for myself, but it was for the team. And I had a dose of reality, and every loss definitely taught me something, and even the wins. Like I try to take something away from every match I play, both in singles and doubles. So that experience early on, I mean, my record when I leave, probably not the best on paper, but I know that I am a much better tennis player because of it.
You have to embrace that mindset, though, of learning from every matchup and then also applying it to become a physically better player. What was it that you did to kind of ensure that you'd have enough, conditioning and desire out there when you have to play doubles and singles?
Oh, yeah, that definitely is challenging, especially in the conditions. When it's really hot, it takes a toll on you. There's so many doubles matches that go very long, and then you have to go right out and play singles. But I put a lot of time off and on the court during in-season and off-season. I like to lift at least 2 to 3 times a week. I'm practicing 4 to 5 times a week, and I'm doing the things I need to do. I'm stretching, I'm eating right, I am hydrating enough, which is super important. People don't realize that. But I'm taking the time necessary to prepare myself the best that I can when I step on court.
What's tougher, the physical grind or the mental grind when you're playing? You're playing 2 matches a day, like you said, sometimes in the heat, but when you're in Ohio, sometimes you could be playing in 38 with impending rain coming your way, so you got to deal with all that. Is it harder mentally or physically?
Mentally, 100%. I mean, I think that there have been so many matches physically I'm fine. Like, I can keep going. I could go for 2 hours, but it's the mental toll that's really difficult. I've worked with a sports psychologist for years, and honestly, that was one of the biggest changes for me. It was about my sophomore year. I just was so hard on myself. I'm a perfectionist, which probably doesn't surprise you, but both on and
not
off.
Looking at your resume. I mean, it's we'll get to that in a second. It's pretty impressive, but no, I'm not surprised by that one iota.
Thanks. But and he has been such an important person in my life, not only on the court, but also just helped me see life in a different way, in a healthier mindset. And I definitely think that was super important for me, because the mental aspect of tennis is so hard, because there's can be some days you are playing the best you can. Like, you are playing lights out and they're just better than you. Or the conditions, the wind, the impending rain, things are out of your control. And one thing that I have tried so hard, and I definitely think this is the maturation of time, especially now being my 5th year, that you can only control the things that are in your control. You can't control your opponent, you can't control the weather, you can't control your doubles partner. There's no sense in getting worked up about things that you just have ultimately no control over.
Looking at yourself and your career as from a leadership standpoint, how do you think you've developed, and how do you kind of help the younger generation of Yellow Jackets maybe avoid some of the pitfalls that you had to work through?
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty candid about this. Early on in my tennis career, I think I was more in it for myself, because it's hard to shift from that mindset of playing high school tennis, where it's more about you, and then transfer into that team mindset. But I think one of the turning points was my sophomore year. I was in the SIG Radcliffe Student Fellows leadership class, and learned about character-based leadership with Alan Culp. Loved that class. Lud was actually in that class with me, so it's nice that he's still here too. But I learned the importance of putting the team first, and there's going to be times when I'm not playing my best or I lose and I have a tough match. But you know what? If my teammates are still playing, I got to put that aside, and I'm cheering them on. And that's what I try to lead by example with the other girls, because it is hard. You are out there competing for yourself, and you obviously want to win, but it's about the team. And a win at first singles is just as important as a win at 6 singles. It doesn't matter what court wins, it's a team effort. So I definitely try to encourage the other girls to think outside of themselves whenever you are playing.
Taking a look at what you've done in the classroom, you're a 3-time academic All-OAC student athlete, and you play a unique sport in that it bridges both the fall and the winter semesters. How have you been able to find that balance to have the success that you have both on the court and off as a 4.0 student?
Yeah, it definitely took some time. It was really about planning. I had to look at my schedule, I had to see the classes I needed to take, and I had to be smart about it. If I knew our conference season is primarily in the spring, then my fall semester I needed to take more hours or take some harder classes. And it was all about time management. I make sure to schedule my day out pretty much every single day in terms of when am I going to do my schoolwork, when am I going to play tennis, when I'm going to lift, when am I going to have time, to eat, other things. But it is a skill that grows with time, and I think academics has always been my number one. I mean, I am very proud of my athletic achievements, but I know leaving BW, I'm most proud of what I've done in the classroom. But with that being said, sports are still very important to me, so I've always found a way to prioritize it amongst all the things that I still have been doing.
You're a Dean's List student, a Jacket Scholar, you're a member of 3 honor societies, great tennis player. Overall, can you even pick one of your favorite or most proud moments that you've had at BW?
Oh, man. I've been here 5 years. It's hard. You're asking me to pull out some good memories. Well, I think probably one of my proudest moments was during April 2020. I was published in the Case Western Reserve's first ever Annisfield Wolf reflection exhibition. And as a writer, especially I've heard I'm a great writer from my BW professors, but having one of my works chosen by someone outside of the organization and the school was something I was really proud of, and I'm still very, very proud of. And having a published work is something that I don't know if I will ever find something that I'm more proud of.
No, and coming from someone whose day job is as a writer, there's nothing quite like seeing your name in print in a journal or a newspaper or a trade publication. I mean, it's just you take so much pride in that because you pour your heart and your soul into it, and you want it to be good because your name's attached to it forever. So you want it to be absolutely perfect. So I get exactly what you're saying about having that proud moment and being a perfectionist. I don't want to ever put my name on something that's not good, and I know you're the exact same way.
Yeah, and I'm super proud of the fact that I was able to represent BW, and especially the English department, because it looks great for the school to show what a BW education can do for you, and that is something that I will never take off my resume. Even if it's in 10 years, I'm keeping it on there.
Speaking of BW, what was it initially that made you want to be a Yellow Jacket?
Yeah, so I have a lot of family legacy at BW. My great-grandpa is in the Athletic Hall of Fame. I do not live up to his pedigree by any means. My grandpa also went here and played football, and I think I've had some extended family members that went to the conservatory, and it was a matter of time that another Morris ended up here. My brother went to Kent, my dad went to Miami, and I took up the helm. I'm really glad I did, but I visited campus pretty much with an open mind, even though I knew a lot of my family had gone here. I wanted to experience it for myself. Fell in love with the school, the academics, loved the English department, and playing tennis was really a bonus. That wasn't the reason I came here, but it was icing on the cake.
Yeah, you had quite the legacy in front of you to live up to, and I think you've done a pretty darn good job, if I can say so myself, academically and athletically. I mean, you are in some rarefied air, my friend. Your final season here at BW, you're in the midst of it. What are you hoping that you can accomplish individually and as a team before you get on out of here?
Yeah, first and foremost, I just want to make the most of these last 2 months. I love my team, love my coach, love the guys' team. I mean, I'm just looking to keep making memories with them. One thing I try to take into everything I do is not to be thinking about these are my last moments and having expectations, because that's one thing my sports psychologists and my coaches have told me, is that if you go in with all these expectations, you're going to psych yourself out. And there's nothing wrong with having personal goals, to have something to work towards to, because you need that, but you don't want it to hamper you from enjoying the moment and staying in the moment. But my personal goals, I think anyone at First Singles, I want to be Player of the Year, without a doubt. The competition's tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. John Carroll, Otterbein, Northern, everyone. You never want to count anyone out. but I want to just keep building off of my personal season last year. But as a team, I want to make the conference tournament top 4, without a doubt. We were so close last year. We had an unfortunate COVID issue that the whole team couldn't play in terms of our conference match to make it to Cincinnati, but I have no doubt that we can make it there this year. We have a lot of talent, a lot of new talent coming in, and I'm really proud of the girls. Spring break was a great time for us to bond, and like I said earlier, we had some tough losses, but I think everyone is better for it, and that is my goal. I mean, obviously, the ultimate goal is OAC champion, but, take things one step at a time.
Well, Ashtyn, thank you very much for your time.
Thank
It was a
you.
pleasure to talk with you. Best of luck
Thank you.
these last couple of months. Enjoy the ride.
Thank you.
First and foremost, let yourself enjoy the experience.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Ashame Morris, star tennis player here for the women's team at Baldwin-Wallace University, and she is in the midst of her senior season. And staying on the tennis court right now, we're going to actually talk to one of the men's team. That is Trey Kernan, BW men's tennis student athlete. Trey Kernan, you just earned last week the first Ohio Athletic Conference Men's Tennis Player of the Week honor of your career. You did that after going 10-0 on the spring break trip to Hilton Head, South Carolina. You were 5-0 at the number 2 singles position and 5-0 at the number 1 double spot with your freshman teammate Matt McGee. How were you able to accomplish what you did down there in South Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I was really expecting to do that well, honestly, but I mean, I just went out there. I mean, I trained a lot over the winter leading up to this, so I mean, I just did everything I practiced over the winter and the past summer as well. I practiced a lot then, and I mean, luckily I was able to translate into wins, which is great to see. So, I mean, I still didn't play as well as I wanted to, in all honesty. So, I mean, there's still a lot of room for improvement. So, I mean, hopefully it's only up from here, I feel. Yeah.
How did it feel, though, to get some recognition for what you were able to accomplish while you were on the spring break trip?
Oh, it felt great. I mean, like you said, this is the first time I ever received that award. So, and I mean, now that, I mean, it was first time kind of having a normal season. So, I mean, it's a great start to that as well. But, yeah, it was a great honor. I mean, just to go 10-0 and get recognition for it was really great.
Yeah, talk about just how your college career has played out. You come in and then, bam, the pandemic wipes out one season and severely alters another. How nice is it to be able to get to play a quote-unquote normal schedule this year?
Oh, it's awesome. It's freshman year I did get a taste of it. We got until spring break, so I mean I got a good amount of matches under my belt freshman year. But I mean, sophomore year was really tough. We only played, I think it was 4 matches, and we weren't very successful. So I mean, now that we're 10-2, I believe now, and finally having a full season, it's great. I mean, yeah, it's awesome.
What are you seeing from some of your teammates that really gives you some good feelings of momentum is starting to build within your program?
Yeah, we have a lot of freshmen this year. Coach recruited a lot of good guys. I believe the freshmen outnumber us upperclassmen. So, but yeah, I've seen a lot of great stuff. A lot of untapped potential still. I mean, it's just a day-by-day process. I see our guys getting better every single day. Yeah, the guys are still pretty raw right now, but I mean, the sky is the limit really for us. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we play in our first real conference matches coming up soon. So I'm really excited for it. I mean, we already got one freshman, Matt McGee, playing 1 singles for us. I mean, he's really stepped up already. He went 9-1 over spring break, so he did great as well. So I mean, he's been really solid so far, and Aiden, Adam, all the other guys, all the freshmen have really stepped up and really done their part so far. It's been great.
I'll jump ahead in my questions to talk about Matt. You know, you get a freshman coming into the program. You know he's got some talent, but then you get partnered up with him to play first doubles. What do you think he brings to the team, and what's it been like to watch his development so early in his career?
Yeah, Matt's great. I mean, he's really been awesome. He brings a really good energy to the team. He's very outspoken for a freshman. I mean, he really right from the start he was really vocal. I mean, he's been very helpful to all the other guys too. You know, he knows his stuff with tennis. I mean, he's just been great. I can tell that in his 4 years here, he's going to be a rock for us. So, I mean, I can't say enough about him. He's been awesome. And as a doubles partner, when I'm not having my best matches, like my last match in spring break, I did not play my best, and we were still able to pull it out. I mean, he's been able to elevate his level when maybe I haven't played my best. So, I mean, he's been a great partner to have so far.
How long does it normally take when you're trying to break in a new partner until you start to get on the same page with each other? It seems like it's happened quickly with you and Matt, but I know there's a lot of work that had to go into it to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, we really had a great camaraderie from the start, honestly. I mean, the first couple matches we were still maybe feeling each other out and starting to get a grip of what our strengths were and stuff like that. But, I mean, really, again, like, he's been a very vocal guy, so it hasn't been hard to gain the chemistry there with him. And we both are really passionate about this sport too, which also makes it really easy to kind of gain that chemistry. So, I mean, yeah, fortunately it didn't take very long. So, yeah, it's been great playing with him so far.
It's an individual sport to a point, but every match counts towards the team total. And you have to have some good chemistry because you're going to be around each other for a lot of the spring semester, and it's your job as teammates to help lift each other up. You know, how has this team built the chemistry that it has now?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, usually it doesn't. It takes till like the spring season to really get that chemistry and get things clicking. But really, from the start in the fall, we were all like really close already by the end of the fall season. I mean, it helps that we have like a bigger team now. Last year, we only had, I think, 6 guys on the team, so it made it kind of harder, I guess, in a way. But having a bunch of new voices on the team and stuff, it's really been great. And then over the spring break trip, it was, I mean, it brought us a lot closer. I mean, we were like together for every hour of the day for a whole week. So I mean, that definitely helps.
It was either going to tear you apart or bring you together, right?
Exactly. We're either going to be really tired of each other or love each other by the end.
You know, last year you played first doubles and were in the mix at first singles as well. You're still first doubles, but you've been in the second single spot this year. How have you adapted to the change, and do you like playing second singles?
Yeah, I mean, I really, even though I didn't do too hot at first singles last season, I really liked the experience being able to play against the best. And it was really valuable for me because now I kind of see like what I need to do to be the best and to win at the highest level in the OAC. So, but I mean, playing second singles has been great too. I mean, I'm still playing really solid players at 2 singles and playing meaningful matches still. So, I mean, it's fine playing 2 singles, and I'm still playing first doubles. So, I mean, I'm still playing really high competition. So, I don't really have any complaints with dropping down a spot.
Was there any kind of transition that you had to make mentally to take some pressure off of yourself, knowing that you weren't you weren't going to be relied on to always be the #1 singles guy?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I would be lying if I said I didn't feel a little bit of pressure last year playing at 1. But I mean, maybe I'm still. I don't know. I mean, I still feel like I still do feel a pressure playing at #2. Obviously, I mean, I still gotta go out there and I still need to play my best to win matches. But I mean, yeah, I don't think there hasn't been much of a mental shift for me too much. I mean, I'm still going to go out there and be competitive, really. I mean, I still have kind of the same mindset, you know.
So you're a native of New York, correct?
Yes.
What was it about Baldwin Wallace that made you want to be a part of this school community and the athletic department?
Yeah, so my mom is from Ohio. She's from like the Sandusky area, so I kind of had that Ohio connection there from the start, so that was pretty enticing. And I'm a Browns, Cavs, and Guardians fan because of her. She kind of instilled that fandom in me. So, I mean, there was that immediate draw. And then I looked into the sport management program, and I saw how good of a program we have here. So, I mean, that was really enticing too. And then I just came in, saw the campus, met Coach, and, I mean, I was sold. I mean, it's just a great college, and, I mean, it's been great.
Yeah, the thing that I keep telling people about BW is just it's unique. You just have to experience it. It's a very close-knit community, and it's nice to see when other student athletes are supporting each other as they play in other sports. Like you'll see the men's team watch the women's basketball games before they go get warmed up for their games. You'll see, the soccer team get supported by the wrestling team, and the volleyball team give it right back and supporting the wrestling team. Have you noticed that just like the special bond that you all have as student athletes here at Baldwin Wallace?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the fact that we are a considerably smaller school definitely helps. I mean, I feel like I have a general knowledge of who most of the athletes are, and I'm good friends with a few baseball players. I've gotten to know a few of them. I mean, yeah, it's been great. I mean, it is a very tight-knit community, I have found. So, yeah, getting to know not just tennis players, but guys from different sports too. And, yeah, it's been great.
So you're part of the sport management program, and that's really taken off over the last several years, and people know about Baldwin Wallace's sports management program in the world of professional sports. I mean, you've had classmates that got to work the Super Bowl or help out at other major sporting events that we all watch on television. What's some of the coolest things that you've been a part of as a sport management major here at Baldwin Wallace?
Yeah, freshman year I got to go on the Duke trip. My first semester here, I got to go down and tour the campus of Duke, and I got to see UNC too a little bit, and then going to see a game in Cameron Indoor. I mean, we were like the second or third row off the floor. We were like right on top of the game. It was just a surreal experience to just experience like a D1 high caliber basketball game. It was just a surreal experience. I do plan on going on either the CFB or Super Bowl trip next year. I haven't gone on either of those yet, so I'm looking forward to doing that next year. But I mean, Duke was a great experience.
So you're very active on campus. In addition to being an athlete and a student, you're on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee and a student assistant in the Office of Athletic Communication. How have those experiences helped you enhance your experience here at Baldwin Wallace?
Yeah, athletic communications has been good, has been great. That's kind of the area I want to go into. I kind of want to be an SID or athletic communications guy. So, I mean, the experience I've gained through that so far has been very valuable. And I mean, I got to do an internship just across the street at Berea Mid Park doing like communications type of stuff as well. So I mean, the opportunities that have been presented to me so far have been great, very valuable. I'm excited to do even more with the year or two I have left here.
I was just about to ask you if you're heading towards a career in the athletic industry, and you seems that sports information and athletic communications is what you want to do most. Are you looking to be at the small school level, like here at Baldwin Wallace, or are you keeping your options open to anything?
Yeah, I mean, right now I don't really have a preference. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care where I go at the moment. I mean, maybe that's something I'll get a better grasp of along down the road. But, I mean, no, I don't really have a preference right now, D3, D1. I mean, it would just be great to work in the sport industry, so I'll take what I can get, Yeah,
absolutely. Before I let you go, Trey, how good do you think this year's team can be? I mean, you're 10-2, you're off to a great start, but you haven't gotten into Ohio Athletic Conference play quite yet. You're about to do that in the coming weeks here. Looking at what you have, how much fun could this team have?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're already having a lot of fun so far, but I haven't seen – I mean, I really got my only experience last year playing a little bit of OAC experience, and I have seen that it is a very competitive conference. We're going to have a tough road ahead of us with JCU, ONU, Otterbein, even Capital. They all have really solid teams that we're really going to have to bring it every single match. We got to stay focused. I mean, again, we're a super young team. We got a lot of freshmen. So, I mean, I am confident we can be in the top 4 at Cincinnati for the OACs at the end of the year. I mean, I love the team we have, so I'm super confident what we can do here. I mean, we're just scratching the surface, so, I mean, this is just the beginning, really. So I'm super excited for it.
As one of the leaders on this team, that injection of energy, that youthful exuberance from the freshmen, what has that done for you?
Oh, it's I mean, this is I can say this has been the best team I've been a part of already. They've been great. I'm good friends with all of them. I mean, it really does feel like we're brothers at this point. I mean, I can't really put into words how great they've been so far. I mean, the energy they bring every day to practice and to matches is great. Yeah, they're awesome.
Well, Trey, I look forward to seeing what the rest of the season holds for you and the men's tennis team here at Baldwin-Wallace, and best of luck both on and off the court here at BW.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's Trey Kernan, the Ohio Athletic Conference Men's Tennis Player of the Week, after an undefeated spring break trip to Hilton Head, South Carolina, when he went 10-0. Perfect 5-0 at the number 2 singles position. He was also 5-0 at the number 1 doubles position with his freshman teammate, Matt McGee. That'll wrap up the interview portion. Now we're going to take a look at the week ahead here for Baldwin-Wallace Athletics. And first and foremost, there's a lot of schedule changes as impending weather has altered the schedule just a little bit, as the 17th nationally ranked BW baseball team had their game against Allegheny College moved up from Wednesday, March 23rd in Meadville, Pennsylvania, to tomorrow afternoon at Robertson Baseball Field in Meadville due to forecasted inclement weather. The men's tennis match at against Teal College on Wednesday at the Pop Collins tennis courts here in Berea has been moved up to Tuesday, March 22nd at 4 p.m. due to forecasted inclement weather. The softball team's game at Geneva College on Wednesday the 23rd has been moved up to Tuesday, March 22nd, tomorrow, at the Bill and Rita Conradi softball field at 3:30 p.m. Women's lacrosse game on Saturday, March 26th against Capital University has been rescheduled from 11:30 a.m. on the Trestle Field inside the George Finney Stadium to a 1 o'clock start due to officiating crew issues. Overall, the baseball team will play at Allegheny Tuesday and then travel down to Wilmington for the start of Ohio Athletic Conference play when they take on the Quakers in a doubleheader. The Yellow Jackets will play 2 games at Tewksbury-Delaney Field. After having 2 doubleheaders canceled or postponed this past weekend, the softball team will play 2 games against Geneva in Pennsylvania on Tuesday. Then the Yellow Jackets will open up Ohio Athletic Conference play by hosting Wilmington at the BW softball field at the Ream Athletic Complex on Bagley Road. The women's lacrosse team will play its OAC opener at home against Capital on Saturday afternoon. The men's lacrosse team hosts Chatham out of Pennsylvania on Trestle Field at the George Finney Stadium on Wednesday night, and then opens up Ohio Athletic Conference play at Capital University on Saturday afternoon. The women's tennis team plays an interconference match against Oberlin College out of the North Coast Athletic Conference on Saturday. Then they open Ohio Athletic Conference play against Heidelberg at the Pop Collins tennis courts on Saturday, April 2nd. The men's tennis team hosts Teal College at the Pop Collins tennis courts on Tuesday, and then will be off until the following Saturday, April 2nd, when they travel to Heidelberg. The women's golf team will play in the 2-day Mount Union Spring Invitational at the Tannehoff Golf Club in Alliance on Saturday and Sunday. And then on Sunday, the men's golf team will compete in the Dan Kashera Spring Invitational hosted by John Carroll at the Highland Park Golf Course in Highland Hills, Ohio. And the women's and men's track team will compete at the Carnegie Mellon Invitational at Gessling Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on Friday, March 25th and Saturday, March 26th. And rounding things out, the men's volleyball team has a huge week of home games as they play inside Ersprung Gymnasium for the first time since February 20th when they host Hiram on Wednesday, March 23rd, Wabash out of Indiana on Friday, March 25th, and then Fontbonne out of Missouri on Saturday, March 26th, before ending the regular season the following Saturday, April 2nd, at Trine University. That will do it for episode 18 of the Baldwin-Wallace Athletics Roadshow. And before we get on out of here, I want to send out some thank yous first to our guests, baseball star Alex Ludwick, men's tennis standout Trey Kernan, and women's tennis star Ashtyn Morris. Thank you also to the Sports Information and Athletic Communication departments here at Baldwin-Wallace University for all of their work in making this show possible. Thank you to our gracious hosts here at Mike's Bar and Grill on Front Street in downtown Berea, Ohio. And finally, thank you to all the Yellow Jacket fans here at Mike's Bar and Grill and those watching around the world. Thank you for your support of Baldwin-Wallace University Athletics. Until next time, I'm Matt Florjancic saying have a great night and go Jackets.